All right, we are back. And you guys know this is one of my favorite topics. Anytime we talk about universal stuff, we talk about the divine source, whatever name you want to give it. And I am so happy and privileged to have once again Dr. Tom Negelow here with me, who is a healer, and I mean hands-on healer, and also a trance channeler. And he's been doing his work and helping people all over the world for over 30 years. So that's an honor and a privilege to have Tom back with us to share more of his wisdom and our special invited guest that Tom's going to tell us about. So Tom, welcome back. Thank you.
Thanks for having me back. This is great. I have a great time with you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've been channeling for 30 years and also doing the body healing work. It's really where I started is the body work those many years ago, and actually developed it myself. It's called cellular energy releasing, and really what it does, it supports people in letting go of the things in their body that keep them from both the emotional and also physical ways they are, that keep them from really getting to what it is they want to do, preventing them or blocking them, if you will, from really having a kind of life that they want to have. That's the bottom line. And it's hands-on work, because the first thing that happens to us human beings, both emotionally and physically, is our bodies experience something through our senses, and then it's interpreted through our complex brain and thinking system, and then it's held onto in a particular way. So my job is to help people let those things go physically and help them really restructure their bodies so that they're experiencing life differently without if you will, what I call the hooks or the trappings that normally we go through and have to work on getting rid of to get de-stress and really start to create what it is we want without all those things hanging on. So that's where I started. And it was during teaching myself that work, because I'm self-taught. This is something that I created out of my experience with a lot of body work and types of body work that I did over the years. And it was during those working with Shelley in particular, that spontaneously I started to channel. I didn't read a book. I didn't go to a class. I had seen a channel a time or two, wasn't really, quite frankly, that impressed. And spontaneously started to channel when Shelley asked me a question. And what we both said at that time is either this channeling will have value for people or it won't. If it doesn't have value, I'm not going to keep doing it, because that's not what we're about. We're about supporting people in a real way with real results. And as it happened, people are getting value out of it and still do. So we've taken it to, I guess, the next level in putting it out there in these videos. And I thank you very much for supporting us in doing that. I say yes, Shelley's here. She will be the disembodied voice.
Hello, everybody.
And so that's my background. And I think what's important, especially with the things that are going on recently, is that we settle ourselves down and we find a way to let go of our reaction to all this. Not that we shouldn't have opinions. Of course, we're going to do that. But the reactivity is what gets us stuck. The automatic reaction, it's like a fish that's hooked. We get hooked to these things, and either the fish throws the hook or we drag it into the boat and eat it, in most cases. So the important thing is to look at how it is we are reacting rather than responding. We can respond in ways that support us and help us get clear about ourselves and what's going on and what's real in our lives, because it's real difficult to get reality from, what we watch or what we read. Everybody's got an opinion about that, and that's fine. And you can listen to those things, but I say don't get hooked to them. Take a look in your life and see what's really real for you.
That's important, Tom, because you mentioned like our automatic response and our reaction. How does that impact us with our body? Because sometimes we're like, oh, I'm angry, I'm stressed. Does it have any implications to the body?
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, the body is the whole thing. The healers have a saying. The issue is in the tissue, and so I think it's important to remember that the emotions that we have, the sadness, the anger, the frustration, whatever it may be, and even the good things, the joy and happiness and things that we like, the emotions we like, all have a place in the body. They're all held in the body first. So when we get angry, the first thing that happens is we see something going on we don't like, our bodies react to that. But first we see it, and then our bodies react. So what I do with the healing work is I help people take that reactivity out, literally out, so that they can let it go. It's like breaking a balloon, all the air comes out. And in that process, then now when they perhaps see the same thing or something similar, now they're capable of not reacting to it, but responding in a way that supports them in bringing their life, how they want to have it, having their life have purpose and passion. Because if you're really hooked to something, if you're really reactive to it, then you can't fully create. You can't fully get to what you want. First, you have to let go of those reactions. Now, I'm not saying that anger and fear and all those emotions are bad things. They're not. Sometimes you can get a whole lot done when you're angry, but you have to focus it. You can't be unfocused with it. You can't be running around trying to get something done that doesn't support you. It simply won't happen. Your body and your thinking won't let it, because you're going to keep going around and around like a hamster on the wheel. So
That makes so much sense. That really, really does, because we keep thinking, oh, our emotions and, we feel something and then it's gone, but it could be trapped in muscle tissues or somewhere else in the body where we're having pain,
yeah.
And we don't realize it.
Yeah, it is. It is absolutely. And the more it's there, the more you react to it, the more difficult it is to let it go, because what you're doing is you're training the neurology, the brain neurology for one thing, and the body neurology as well. You're telling the body, keep it there. This is necessary. However, whatever reason that is, it's a whole complex. Obviously, I'm being simpler than the system is. But as you start to let go of it, and it's a process, it's a practice thing, as you start to let go of these things, what happens is the neurology starts to change, the actual brain neurology. Because if you're not supporting that connection, if you're not supporting that brain reaction, eventually it lessens and lessens and lessens, and eventually goes away, because it's not necessary anymore. And the neurology, or human neurology, is set up to let things go that are no longer necessary. So that's one of the reasons that the healing work works, is it's triggering that on purpose. Whether somebody remembers it or not doesn't make any difference, but it triggers the neurology, and as the neurology changes, then those things literally disappear.
Wow. It just fascinates me how amazing the body is. Like, it is this perfect, well-oiled machine. And I think sometimes we definitely take it for granted, like right around this time
Oh, sure.
now. with the pandemic and all the stuff happening, you know, a lot of people, like you said, you keep feeding in reaction that maybe makes you angry. You keep watching something that makes you angry, and you don't realize that you're holding that in your body. And you keep feeding it and making it stronger. Like you were just talking about how we get rid of it and we let it go. People don't realize, I think sometimes their behavior's feeding it and making it
Yes.
worse.
And if you watch some of the stuff on the street, there's a lot of anger. And that anger is multiplied when whoever is getting angry or whoever is being angried at, I don't know if that's English, but it's close enough. If you don't have those reactions, if you don't have that in your body, here, let me put it this way. If I said to you, I really don't like your blonde hair, you would look at me like, okay, he needs a vision check. But if I said to you, you know, I really don't like your dark hair, well, you have dark hair, so you may have something about that. But if you cleared that issue out for yourself, having something about dark hair, then if I said that, you go, oh, that's interesting. That's an interesting opinion. Then there wouldn't be any emotion about it. So it's the same thing here. If you clear out those emotions and the issues perhaps that you have with whatever it may be, then when it comes up in your life, and it will, because you know stuff happens, you won't have the reaction. You won't have that same pull. You'll be able to look at the person or the situation, whatever it may be, and say, okay, here's what I can do with this. Here's how I can use this to begin to create what it is I really want. Whether any emotion, sadness, joy, anger, doesn't make any difference. All those emotions are at their base energy to be used or can be used to get what you want, you know, and use your passion to create those things.
And I don't think people realize that. I don't think people realize how much in control they have, because like you said earlier, we're so much on the, you know, automatic reactions that we don't realize that, yeah, you do have control. You have control of what you watch, what you let in, but you also have control and helping, like you said, when you get support to release that, then you get to really create, because you're not bogged down with all that other stuff that you were filling yourself with.
Yeah, exactly. And what people discover as they go through this is there's, I'm going to use the word enlightenment, okay? Or there's a lightening up of how they are. And if you truly want to be enlightened, how you start that process, I say, is start to notice your judgments and don't react to them. You're gonna, somebody said, if you want to live forever, let go of your judgments. Well, I don't know that I can do that. But I can certainly look at what I'm judging and let it go enough so that now I can respond in a way that makes sense for what it is I want to create and how I want to be in the world and support people. So that's all part of the process. But in order to do that, you've really got to do some serious work in letting go of the things that that you have that are making those judgments. So as you let go of that, literally you lighten up, or ultimately truly become enlightened, because enlightenment for me is not, you know, sitting on a rock somewhere in a high mountain and oming all day. That's interesting and may be fun, but doesn't get me to enlightenment. What gets me there is how I am with other people and how I am in the world, and you know, how I support folks in getting to what they want to get to.
Yeah, that makes total sense, because we're here to create, and that's the whole point of, you know, that's why I think sometimes people forget that we have these emotions, because we're here to feel the goodness of whatever this life has to offer, whatever we call in and bring in. So yeah, I think that's so important. That this is juicy, this topic here, because I think people don't talk about it enough. You know, we always are in this reactive mode, like you talked about. We're in auto response and not taking a step back, saying, wait, let me gain some clarity, some control, some healing, some releasing. We don't do those things.
Yeah. And just taking anger, for instance. When you get angry, you can get to the point of, oh, I'm angry. Good. Let's see what we can do with this. Now, it may take a minute or 3 or 5 to get over the initial pull of being angry. But at some point, when you go, I'm angry. What's this really about? What am I really angry with? You can't be angry that somebody left the dishes in the sink last night. Is that what you're really angry about? Yeah, I don't think so. They're dishes. They have no meaning. There's always something behind that. So as you keep asking yourself, what am I really angry at? What's really going on here? Then eventually, as you train yourself and get trained to do this is something Shelley does within the Power of Women class, is she literally trains women, teaches them, I can say train is not a good word, but teaches them the tools that it takes to do this and get there. And as I do with men in the coaching that I do. So that's really what's going to propel us, I think, past all the stuff that's going on, is really looking and saying, what is really going on with me, and be responsible for it. You can always point to somebody else and say, oh, they this, this, and this. Well, unfortunately, they didn't do anything to you. Now, let me take that back. Yes, they may have done something to you, but certainly you're responsible for your reaction to it, how you feel about it, and ultimately what you do with it. And it's your responsibility to clear and let go of whatever those things are, because if you're not actively pursuing that, then sure enough, something's going to come along that's going to kind of drag you into the boat. So.
Absolutely. You're so right on, Tom. And I want to segue now because we've talked about this. So let's go even deeper, because I feel like channeling goes even deeper. So explain
Yes.
to the audience about who is our wonderful guest we're going to meet in a few minutes.
Yes. I channel an energy called the Ascended Master Kutumi. Kutumi is the combined energy of St. Francis of Assisi, Pythagoras, the mathematician and philosopher, and the Shah Jahan. The Shah Jahan is the Indian leader that built the Taj Mahal. The combined energy of those three individuals, and I mean energy, and I'll explain that in a minute, is the experience of unconditional love. And so Kutumi has called me the voice of unconditional love, and that's kind of how I, if you will, talk about myself. Now, I'm a trance channeler, which means I am not conscious while any of this is going on. I go into a deep meditative trance. Everything goes to black for me. There's no other side. There's no roaming around the universe. I have no experience of any of that. All I know is a while later, I come back into my body. Like I say, I've been doing this 30 years or so. And with Kutumi what'll happen is he'll speak for a period of time. This is what we call a mini channeling, so it won't be that long, about whatever he talks about. And Shelley and you can ask whatever questions that you feel are appropriate and want to know about. So that's really about it. It'll, it's, and as you listen to this, listen a number of times, just not once, because as you listen, you get deeper and deeper into what it has for you, the information that it has for you, whatever that may be. So I'll take some deep breaths, and my face will change a bit, and then Kutumi will speak, and we'll just go from there. Okay.
Sounds great, Tom. Thank you.
Very good. Okay, I'll see you when I'm back. Well now, and good day to you, my dear.
Good
How
day,
are you on
Katumi.
such a fine day that this is?
Wonderful, Katumi. Thank you for being here.
Yes, very good, very good. So let us speak about how it is, since you have been talking of this, how the body is the source of the experience, you see. Well, first, let us talk about what is experience. Experience is not some thinking, not idea, not a notion. Experience is an actual physical vibrational energy in the body first. So the body, what it does is it vibrates according to the energy of the universe that it is tuned to. Every human being is tuned to the energy of the universe. In fact, it is true that the particles of everything are star particles. Literally, first there were the stars, and then as things came together, ultimately the body for the human became as well, you see. Now, this did not happen immediately. Obviously, it took time to do this, but ultimately, the body is the source of vibrational energy for the human being, you see. And then there is thinking. You do not see thinking roaming around there by itself. It always has a body connected to it, you see. And so in this process, first the body vibrates energetically to what it is experiencing, and then very complex reasons, there is thinking and thoughts and energy that comes from this, you see. But first there is the vibration of the body. Now, since the first thing that occurs is the vibration of the body, then the human body takes these vibrations and stores them in various places throughout the body, so that when a similar thing comes about, the body is reacted again and the thinking can take place. The thinking is part of the survival system, you see. Very complex in its way, of course. So the body first is what we say. So now that you understand that there is a vibration, there is energy of the body, the question is, how do you let go of the things that in the body that do not serve you, you see? And by let go of, we mean release the energy of it, release the particles. That is what energy is, little tiny particles of things. So when you think about letting go, think about letting the particles dissipate and disappear. Now, letting one particle or two particles go, obviously this is not enough. It is over time and over practice that you begin to experience the results of releasing. The results of releasing is the body healing, you see. And in the process of healing the body, what happens is the things that you have been holding or hiding in this place, whatever, also dissipate and disappear. You can do this. The body is set up naturally to have this reaction, you see. And so in this way, you can change your thinking. Some people say that, well, if I think hard enough and I think and I think and I think, it'll change. Well, perhaps over a long period of time, but it's very difficult to change the thinking with the thinking, because this particular mechanism cannot change his thinking. You have to change the body and how the body is reacting to what is going on. You have to release this from the body. Now, how do you do this? I'm so glad somebody asked. How you do this very simply is recognizing and feeling the vibration of the thing that you want to release. Because again, everything has a vibration in the body. The body is a vibrational mechanism. It is a creative vibrational mechanism. So how you fix the mechanism is by letting go of the vibrational experience, the actual physical feeling in your body of what it is you are reacting to. Now, this may happen the first time, or it may take many times before it happens. But eventually, it will. Because the body, as you all know, is a self-healing mechanism. But it needs help, you see. So by using the experience, the thinking, the feeling, the emotion, the body reactions, the body vibration, thinking all of this together, what happens is the body begins to let go. And instead of reacting to something, you are able to use it to bring into your life those vibrations, those energies, those things that you want to change or you want to create, you see. It is a simple process, you see, but not easy. Because you have to truly be committed. You really have to want to get this done in your life because you are a creative piece of God's work, you see. You bring through experience universal energy. It passes through the body. And then you are able and capable of using this energy to do and have what it is you wish, you see. And so this is the process of creating. This is the process of letting go. Now, the dilemma is that sometimes you do not know what it's going to lead to because this is a new way for you to be. So do not concern yourself with not knowing, but enjoy the mystery. Enjoy the road and enjoy traveling down it to become and create what it is you wish. Very good. And so, upon the questions in this time.
Thank you, Katumi. That is really powerful to know that we have a opportunity to release it. So when we're trying to release this from the body, is there a process? Is it just experiencing everything over and over again that we want to release, by reliving that experience? Or is there another way to really get it out of our system, so to speak?
Well, it's not a matter of reliving. It is a matter of re-experiencing, you see. First, experiencing where it is in the body, you see. It may be a vibration in your nose. It may be a pain in your fingertip. It makes no difference what it is, and it will not make any sense, you see. Because how the body holds things will not be understood. It is way too complex. But where is it in the body? Find a place and relax and breathe through it. Let it go out of the body, you see. And do this and do this and do this, and then go on your way of creating. And as you do this more and more and release it more and more, like I said, it may be the first time or it may be many times. But the most important thing is then go create, go use this new energy, go into the world. What are you doing with it? What are you passionate about? And go create it this way.
How does it apply, Katumi, to what is going on in the world now with the virus, with people being angry and so on? How can they somehow find their way through these experiences to create their lives?
Yes, well, this is nothing new in the human condition. Viruses have been around for always. In fact, viruses were here before you are, you see. So they are not invading your world, you are invading theirs. You can look at it this way. Of course, this makes no difference, because it is the human reaction that is you are important with. So know that these things are normal, natural events. Not that you wish it to have it or wish it upon somebody, but the best thing, just physically with the virus, is do whatever you have to do to be healthy, whatever this takes. Now, also have the energy of creating in your life. Just do not sit around going, oh, I'm going to try to do nothing so I don't get the virus. No. You can be safe and you can create. What are you going to create? How are you going to do it? What are you still passionate about? The virus does not take passion away from you. It can be a time to create even more, more creatively, if you will. You see? It just gives you an opportunity, again, to keep letting go of your assumptions, your ideas, your anger, your frustration. Let go of all these things and use the joy and the love that is natural in the human condition, you see. The acting out, you see, is a result of people not knowing what to do with the anger, focusing it on something that they feel has been done to them. And this is, again, a natural condition in the human being, but must be overcome, because you have got to and are responsible for everything that it is you experience. It's the vibration of the body. Look to how you are going to support people, and then this will become clear.
Thank you. Yeah, I think, Katsumi, you mentioned about the anger and people responding to that. Would you say that people need to, like what you talked about in the beginning, focus in on themselves and their body to find out, to release the anger, to get rid of it first before they try to do anything else or create?
Yes, very good. Yes, that is exactly right. When you have anger, the first thing you are going to do is look at something or someone else and say, it's their fault. They did it to me, you see. Well, things happen, and how you react to it is your responsibility. How you respond to it is your responsibility. Nobody's done anything to you, because if you are clear in yourself, nobody can do anything to you, you see. For example, let us say that something has happened in your life, and you feel as though something has been taken from you. Perhaps in particular relationship, somebody leaves. You see, you say, oh, they're taking their love, so I'm sad and I'm angry and all of this. But if you truly look at the foundation of the human experience, love is not something that can be taken from you, because love was not given to you. You are love yourself, you see. Love is already the experience of the human body, the human condition, the human thinking. It is already there. Nobody gave it to you. Say, here's the love for you with 6 ounces of love. Have a good day. So if they did not give it to you, nobody can take it away. Nobody can take away your honor. Nobody can take away the foundation of who you are. Nobody can take away the experience you are of the universe or God. That cannot be taken. So if you look at this first and you say, well, I am responsible for those experiences within myself. Now, how can I take that into the world and create positive results? You see, the acting out, you see, is people being irresponsible. They're looking at somebody else as the fault of how they are and what they have done and why they are the way they are. This is all false illusions, you see. So the first step in dissipating all of this is saying, I'm responsible. How can I create from that experience? You see. But sometimes the human condition is that the acting out without thinking comes first. And if you were to sit down with some of these people who have this anger and start to talk to them about how they are responsible, that they are responsible at first, they'll be very angry. No, I did not do that. You did it, or this did it, or the society did it, whatever. Never it is true. It's not so. You see. And once they begin to see that they have been hurt in some way, then you can begin to have them understand that the hurt is self-imposed. Because if you have the experience of being whole, being true to the self, the experience of the self of who you are as part of the energy of the universe and God's love, if you experience this all of the time in the love of the self, nobody can do anything to you. You are free. You are whole. And now create from that place. And one more question, please.
Shelley, do you have another question? I'm just sitting here going, wow.
Well, for me, Katumi, you pretty much handled the whole human condition, you know, and what we put up with in our lives.
The human condition is not that complex.
Yeah.
We make it complex to human beings. And why say we? Because all of the universe is ultimately is chaotic, but an organized chaos.
Yes.
You see? And so everything is responsible for everything else. Even in the world of tiny bits of physics.
Yes.
Everything reacts with everything else, you see. And so the job of the human being is to become clear and use the vibration and energy that they are to become whole in the world for themselves and to support the others as well, you see.
And for some of us who do have clarity about what you're speaking of, it's to be spoken of or to be supporting people in a way that they can come to it for themselves.
Yes, certainly. You can have all this information, all this knowledge, all this enlightenment and sit in the cave, you see, and go, so what? So you're sitting in a cave for 20 years and you are enlightened. It makes no difference in the world, you see.
Yes.
What difference are you going to bring to the world? You live in 3 dimensions. Things happen. So use those things with the experience and knowledge that you have and are, and be in the world whole and full, and making love happen in the world as well.
Thank you so much.
Also, very good.
Thank you.
And so, my dears, until the next of our coming, peace to you in this time. Thank you, honey.
Tom, hi, you're back. I want to say thank you. And I always have to say thank you for being this vessel to allow us to get this information, because it was powerful information. And I know you had said earlier before you left us that people should watch this over and over. I am absolutely saying people need to watch this again, because what Katumi said today is something you could play every single day. Because like Shelley had said, he really nailed the human condition and what we should be doing on a daily basis.
Great, great, good.
Yeah, this was very powerful. At the end, all I could say was, wow. I didn't even have a question. I could just say, wow. Because it's that magical, it's that important. And I want people to hear it. Like Katumi said, it's simple. I want you guys to understand that. It really, the system, we always go with systems and numbers as human beings. We like that order. Well, he gave you a simple system. Now, how it feels may be complicated or intense, but the system itself is very simple. We are whole beings, and we're working to get back to feeling and vibrating in that way, and knowing that we are that. And we've had so much hurt and pain. Like, we started this conversation, Tom, about how the body carries all that stuff, and it makes us feel broken and incomplete, you know. And what Katumi and both and you shared is that we have a way to fix that, heal that, and release it, and be our whole complete self. And that's really important. The body is so crucial here, and people don't seem, I just feel this way and this is happening to your body, your vibration. What are you calling in? What are you doing? You know, we got to go back to the stillness. And I think, you know, if anything else, like, the virus can teach us how to be still, you know, because some people, your life is slowed down, your job is stopped. The universe is kind of knocking you in the head to be still, you know,
Yeah.
go within.
Yeah. Somebody online, I think Shelley, read that, what is the virus here to teach us? Well, the virus doesn't teach. What we do is we look at our condition, look at how we are, look at what's going on, and then make, decide what to do from that. So what are you, what are you learning for yourself? And how are you being in the world, with the things that are going on? It's not just the virus, the virus hasn't put people in the streets. So how are we, how are you really, what are you really learning? It's tough, and Shelley teaches this in her classes. It's tough to let go of those illusions. And it's the illusions that cause us problems. It's not the world. The world isn't causing us problems. It's how we look at it and then filter through our illusions that causes, I think, a dilemma. So.
Absolutely. I want to thank you again, Tom, so much. This is a powerful, powerful interview today. A lot of information. This is like a blueprint. It's kind of the overarching blueprint of what you need in your life. So I definitely encourage people to watch this again and again, to share this with other people for sure, because this is life-changing information. This is healing information. Which is important. So Tom, we will definitely do this again for
Good,
sure.
Thanks.
But I want to thank you so much for being here today.
My pleasure, and thanks for having us.
All right, we'll see you guys again next time.
Okay.
Bye for now.